One of the things you hear tossed around in the big world a lot, for good reason, is the word accountability. Accountability. Now, I want you to just tune in for a second. When I say that word, accountability, what, just listen to the word, close your eyes, just listen to the word accountability. Do happy thoughts come up in your mind? Do you go, oh, I want some of that. Oh, I gotta have some of that. Probably not. That's probably not how we think of it, right? Most of us have some history of it's more like a parental kind of, the police are showing up. Or what cracks me up is these crazy, senators in these hearings all over the place. You've seen this forever. I don't care what party it is, but they drag somebody in there and they go, somebody's going to be held accountable for this. And they're not solving anything. They're just pounding the gavel. And it's after the fact, right? It's punitive. It makes the one in power feel like they're doing something. Well, that's not what accountability is supposed to be. I mean, ultimately, yeah, ultimately, if everything fails, then somebody pays a fine, right? But accountability is designed so that we won't fail. The word accountability literally means to answer to a trust. So if you and I have entered into an agreement, say we're on a work team and you're going to do this and I'm going to do this, then we're going to be accountable to each other to fulfill the trust that we have promised. And we're going to be accountable not to be punished when we don't, but to help us fulfill that trust. That's what accountability is. It's getting ongoing data, direction, feedback, measurement on, am I doing what I promised I was going to do? And if I am not, why not? And how do I solve that? And if I am, then are we getting the results that we thought we were going to get? That's accountability. It should be the most positive thing in our lives. And no one who wants to get anywhere in life should be trying to get somewhere in life without it, because it ensures that we get there. It ensures it. Now, let me give you a simple example. You ever been on an airplane? Yes, you have. What if you get on an air, fly all the time, right? Normally, I get on an airplane in Los Angeles. I'm flying to New York. That pilot has been given a trust, right? And when she takes the helm of that airplane, she's accountable to her. Like I said, accountability means to answer to a trust. So the airlines, 200 something passengers have entrusted her with their lives. All of that, the FAA, they filed a flight plan. Why? To make sure she gets to New York safely, on time, finishes the task, right? And she would never take off without her accountability partners. Why? They help her get there. The first one is her instrument panel. She's got a flight plan. Says, here's what I'm going to do: 40,000 feet, 540 knots, certain heading. That's what I'm going to do. You guys do this. Have the runway open. Clear the skies for me, et cetera, et cetera. See, we have a relationship. So she takes off. And if she's at 37,000 feet, her accountability relationship tells her, you know what, you're 3,000 feet off right now. You're burning too much fuel because the air is too heavy down there. You're not going to make it, or it's going to burn too much and you need reserves. Take it up 3,000 feet. Roger, copy that. She adjusts. See, she would never leave without that. And she'd never leave without the little towers along the ground that are watching her and saying, you're 2 degrees off. You're going to miss it. You're going to end up in Canada, not New York. Oh, thank you. That's accountability. All right. So here's what I want you to do. If you want to learn more about this, by the way, you can go to boundaries.me and have a whole thing on there. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, if I'm trying to get to New York in my life, if I'm trying to become a better husband or a better wife or a better parent or a better worker or a better team member or a better health person, then where's my instrument panel? Where's my accountability relationships that are going to help me to get there? Because what am I going to do? I'm going to tell them, okay, each week I'm going to go 40,000 feet, whatever heading, certain speed, and I'm going to commit that to you. We're going to get together next week. We're going to see if I'm still on track, if I'm still doing it. If I'm not, then you're going to enter into it with me and say, why not? What are the problems? Why isn't this happening? Let's solve it. And if I am doing it, then we're going to ask the question, so how's it going? Are we getting where we thought we would get with this plan? If not, maybe we need to change the plan. So if you want to get somewhere, figure out what accountability you need. I do this in my life. When I got a project, there's a whole path holding me accountable to it. If I got to write a book or something, or, kind of whatever it is, got advisors hold me accountable to certain goals. Our team does this. We do this as a group here. All the people that make this show run and stuff, we hold each other accountable to plans and goals and all that. And we find it very, very helpful, as do most of the high performers that I work with. I don't know many that fly solo and do well long term. Okay. So that is our little word for the day. I remember a friend of mine was, oh, it's too long a story, but a guy was going to start a company, and I sent him to talk to a friend of mine that started a very successful company and had run it for years in the same industry. And I thought he could learn a lot. And he went to the older, seasoned, very successful guy, and he said, so, Henry said I should talk to you. And he said, yeah, I'd be glad to help you. And so he starts, asking all these questions. Long story short, he comes back to me. And I said, how'd it go? He said, well, it wasn't helpful at all. I said, why? He said, because I was asking about the financing and how do I do the marketing and, how do you go about hiring the first team and all that. And he wouldn't answer anything. All he wanted me to do is go get my support group and accountability partners together first who would agree to be there through the process. And then he told me come back and he'd help me on the next part of it. He said, I need to run a business. I can't go do that. Well, the successful one, I know him well. He'd been in the same Tuesday morning group with the same accountability partners and advisors for their lives and business for 30 years. And I would scare you with the number if I said what he had achieved. Okay. But he knew how vital that was. And he wasn't going to deal with somebody that was flying solo. The other guy was raised a bunch of money, went and started his company. He was bankrupt in 2 years. It's a big deal, guys. So whatever you're trying to improve, get your accountability in place.